Greetings, good people. Today we want to discuss about rate. Tiri kuda kutaura pamusoro perate. But before we go anywhere, we have to acknowledge our course reader. Kana tichiti course reader, tikureva the main book we use in this course, kana kuti in these lessons. Tinoshandisa book rinonzi New General Mathematics, which was written by the likes of A.A. Chasakara and others. On this book, tiripa page 219, and this is chapter 23. Saka kana muinaro, you can go to that particular page. So atiri kuda kuita now, tiri kuda kuverenga the portion which talks about rate, so that you can have a directed explanation. Saka maringe nerate, bhuku redu rinoti, ratios compare quantities which are of the same kind. For example, 4 kgs is to 7 kgs. The units may be different. Example, 1 centimeter is to 5 kilometers, but the quantities are of the same kind, since it is always possible to express kilometers in centimeters. So basically what we are doing is, kana chitaura pamusoro perate, we have to acknowledge that rate is simply an improvement of ratio. Saka we have ratio, we want to compare it with rate. The main characteristic, the main difference between these two phenomena, in a way kuti ratio, we are talking about quantities of the same kind. And kashitara pamusoro pe kind, we are basically talking about units. And so maybe before we expand upon this, kana chitaura pamusoro pe kind, we learned in physics about physical quantities and their corresponding units. Example yatapiwa in our book, tapiwa 4 kg is to 7 kgs, tikapiwa zvakare a centimeter is to 5 kilometers. Saka we can deduce panapa kuti the kind of the first ratio is mass, and the kind of the next ratio is length. Then of course we have the units of mass, which are kgs, and the units of length, which are centimeters and kilometers. Saka they have to be the same kind. That does not necessarily mean that they are the same units, and this is exemplified by the second ratio. Saka the units should be relatable. Why tichitarisa my units? Because my units ndo anotiudza the kind. Dei yango yakanyorwa kuti 4 is to 7, we could not know kuti kutaura pamusoro pemass. Dei yavo yakangonzi 1 is to 5, we could not also know kuti kutaura pamusoro pelength. So this is what we have to know about ratio. And of course, in our previous class, taka explain kuti ratio iri unitless because the units cancel each other. Self-evident panapa, ma kgs ari kuchekana, but ma centimeters nema kilometers hakwanisi kuchekana. Because of that, that is why it is necessary kuti kana tichinyora ma ratios tinomanyora ari in the same unit. Saka panapa it will be 5,000 meters, knowing that we have 100 centimeters in a meter. That means 5,000 multiplying 100, correct, is 500,000 centimeters. Saka aya ndo manyorero atinozoita kuitira kuti ma centimeters achekane. Kana kuti tinogona zvakare kunyora yakaita sei, yakati 1 is to, we want to convert 1 centimeter into kilometers. Saka we know kuti we have 100 centimeters in a meter, and we have 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So we are multiplying 1000 times 100 to get 100,000. Saka 1 over 100,000 kilometers ndiyo 1 centimeter. As to 5 kilometers, again it becomes unitless. So if you don't understand what I did here, you have to revisit the lessons we did on conversions. This is not the subject of what we are learning, saka handisi kuzowanza mbambo pachitewe cheshindi. Asi kana muchinzwa mamuri kuti muda kunyatsokuziva justification yangu yekuti 1 over 100,000 kilometers ndiyo 1 centimeter, you can communicate that need in the comments section and I'm sure to attend to it. Saka I will only attend upon request. Okay, we have expounded upon ratio. Let us now look at rate. Saka talking of rate zvinonzi quantities of different kinds may be connected in the form of a rate. The following are some examples of rates. So when we are talking about rates, we are talking about different kinds. But what is most important, pamusoro perate, what I can call the pointer, chinoita kuti uzive kuti kutaura pamusoro perate, is the simple term pay. Let us go into different examples of rate. Example A workman is paid $10.80 for an 8-hour day. His rate of pay is $1.35 per hour. Saka the moment panzi $1.35 per hour, that was the indicator we are dealing with rate. We got to B. A cyclist travels 28 kilometers in 2 hours. Her rate is 14 kilometers per hour. In this case, the rate is called speed. So the speed is 14 kilometers per hour. Because of the term per, we know we are dealing with rate. The 4-meter beam of uniform cross-section and mass 120 kgs has a mass of 30 kgs per meter. This rate gives the mass per unit length. Piece of metal has a volume of 20 cubic centimeters and a mass of 180 grams. Its density is 9 grams per cubic centimeter. The density of gases, liquids, and solids is the rate giving the mass per unit volume. And lastly, a town of 32,000 people has an area of 40 square kilometers. The population density of the town is 800 people per square kilometer. Population density is a rate giving the average number of people per unit area. Saka, this is what we have. When you are talking about rate, more broadly, tiri kutaura pamusoro pe comparison between quantities of different kinds. And just to quote a few, tukatarisa speed, it's 14 kilometers per hour. Kureva kuti we are comparing distance and time. Kilometers for distance, then of course per hour for time. We can go with this example, 14 kilometers per hour. Saka, this is distance. And of course, that is time. Different quantities. We can talk of a force of, for example, 10 newtons. But from our physics, we know that a force is mass times acceleration. Kureva kuti 10 newtons is actually 10 kgs meters per second squared, like this. Saka, kgs is mass, meters is distance, and the square of seconds each time. Saka apa takutocompare 3 different quantities. Bekutanga pa speed, we're only comparing 2 different quantities. So long we are comparing different quantities and we are employing the super term pair, we know we are talking about what? About rate. Asikuti tite bring to life what we are learning about, it is of a necessity to do examples. Saka, we are going to have a few examples in this lesson, starting with example number 1. This is going to be our first example. Find in kilometers per hour the rate at which a car travels if it goes 38.5 kilometers in 35 minutes. Saka panapa, we want to find the rate at which a car is traveling. Asi takapiwa the distance 38.5 kilometers, takapiwa the time which is 35 minutes. So what we have to do panapa, we have to interpret this question. Rate iri kubvunzwa panapa has a special term. It is called speed. Because kana tikada kupa a definition of speed at physics, tiri kungoti the rate of the change of distance per unit time. That can actually be a definition of speed. Saka, when you are talking about, we want to relate and distance and time. In order for us to be able to relate distance and time, we have to invoke speed. We know from our primary level education that speed is actually distance over time, like this. So this is going to be equal to 38.5 kilometers over 35 over 60 hours. Atina yedu kuudziwa kuti ndozvatinofanirwa kuitapo, because answer yedu hatina kunzi tiipe in kilometers per hour, but I'm just imagining kuti tanga tanzi tipe our answer in kilometers per hour. Kureva kuti if we want to convert 35 minutes into hours, we know kuti we have 60 minutes in 1 hour. So in order for us to convert the number of minutes which are actually lower than 60, so we are looking at a fraction of an hour. What am I talking about? Let me dramatize. Let us say this circle is representing 1 hour, like this, and we partition it into equal segments. Tuma segment to know to each segment is representing a minute, 1 minute. Saka tuma segments tunotofanirwa kuva tungani? Tuma segments tofanirwa kuva 60. Of course mukudraw kwangu I might not get to 60, but imagine kuti tuma segments kuti 60. Then tuatashedha chi tuma segments tungani? 35. Let us imagine kuti ndito 35 utu. Saka kana tikada kuexpressa this in fractional form, tinenge chiti 35 twakashedwa over 60 tuma segments twese. So this was the primary level understanding of looking at this. Saka 35 minutes is automatically a fraction of an hour. That is why it at 35 over 60. If you don't understand this, you can look at our previous classes where we discussed about the chain rule and also discussed about proportion as ways of converting from minutes to hours. But if you want me to demonstrate how it's done, you have to ask me in the comments. Otherwise I leave it here. Saka kana tadai so much, what should we then do? Saka I'm going to call this method number 1 because to some extent I've actually invented my own question. Because ndoda kunyora answer yangu iri in kilometers per hour, something we are generally used to. But you can express it in kilometers per minutes. There is no fault in doing that. Because question yedu haina kuti demanda specifically kuti answer yedu ive in kilometers per hour. Saka kana tadai so we can rewrite this like 38.5 kilometers, or togona sanyora yedu kilometers, knowing kuti in the end our answer is going to be in kilometers per hour. So 38.5 is dividing 35/60. Saka there's a common misconception, a common error inoitwa, and in my examinations I usually ask students this just to draw their confusion. What is 4 divided by 2 and what is 2 divided by 4? Saka 4 divided by 2 yakafanana nekuti 4/2, which gives the answer of 2, and 2 divided by 4 yakafanana nekuti 2/4, which gives the answer of a half. Zvazviri ngoreva ndezvekuti yekutanga ino ishi ndo inenge iri chi the numerator, then inoteverawo ishi ndo inenge iri chi the denominator. And of course we know that the denominator can be called the divisor and the numerator can be called the dividend. So using the same principle, 38.5 kilometers over 35/60 hours, rewriting it tichinyora the division sign should be 38.5 dividing 35/60. Tadaro tinenge takuti this is equal to 38.5, which is a mixed number. We have to convert it into what? Into an improper fraction. We do that how? 2 times 38, so it's 38 multiplying 2. 2 times 8 and 16 to carry 1. 2 times 3 and 6 plus 1 is 7. So we have 76 plus 1 becomes 77/2 dividing 35/60, of which inini ndiri kuda kutoi reducer, we simplify ino ish. And we know kuti 5 into 35 into 7. 5 into 6 into 1 with a remainder of 1, then 5 into 10 into 2. Saka 7/12 hatichisina factor inopinda into both without leaving a remainder, for the simple reason yekuti 7 is a prime number and 12 is not a factor. Rather 12 is not a factor or a multiple of 7. Saka ndenge ndataura Greek, but ndingoti 7/12 hatikwanise kuireducer nekuti 7 is prime number. Chii chinonzi prime number? Number isingadividike into ingori nemafactors maviri, 1 and itself. Then 12 is not a factor of 7, kureva kuti 12 haipindi muna 7. 12 is also not a multiple of 7, kureva kuti patinoita multiples are 7, 7, 14, 21, 28, we do not have 12 in that set. So here it's just going to be 7 over what? Over 12. This is equal to 77/2. We know that if we are dividing fractions, we have to multiply by the reciprocal of the divisor. In other words, in simpler form, tinofanira kuita pidiguration kana chichinja from a division sign to a multiplication sign. Tinopidigura the second fraction. Saka doing this, our answer is going to be 7 into 7, that's 1. And 7 into 7, 1 into 7, 1. We have 2 into 2, that is 1. 2 into 12, that is 6. 11 times 6 is equal to 66. The units of our answer, kilometers per hour. Just like this. Kilometers per hour. Yanga isiri mosha. Listen to me. Yanga isiri mosha. I know wanga wati speed. Let me write in a different color. Yanga isiri mosha. Then what is speed is equal to distance over time, which is equal to 38.5 kilometers over 35 minutes, which is equal to, of course, it's instead of kunyora kuti 38 and a half dividing 35, alright, let me do so. Kudza mwana wopedzisira 38 and a half dividing 35, and this is equal to 38 and a half converted is 77 over 2. It's dividing 35 like this, and this is equal to 77 over 2 is multiplying 1 over 35 figuration. Then 7 into 77 the 11, 7 into 35 the 5. Correct, this is going to be equal to 11 times 1 the 11 over 2 times 5 the 10, and it saka tikati 10 into 10 the 1, 10 into 11, that is 1, then 1 over 10. Saka our final answer would be 1 and 1/10 kilometers per minute. Saka yange dziri mhosva kunyora kilometers per minute because question yedu haina kutiudza kuti we have to express our answer in kilometers per hour, but acting out of instinct semadaniro atinoita speed in everyday life, we quote speed as kilometers per hour. Even vekuamerica vanoshandisa mamiles vanototiwo miles per hour, mph. That is why tada kuexpressa in hours. But kana question isina kuuya yakatiudza in particular kuti rate yedu tiexpress in kilometers per hour, we can do kilometers per second, kilometers per minute, kilometers per ameno, whatever measure of time. But of course, I put my money here because as you can see, comparing these two, you see kuti kusvika panapa was more smoother rather than kusvika apo. So this concludes our first example. If you have any questions, the comments or directly to me. Otherwise, I am assuming I have explained this part sufficiently well. Let us go to our second example. A village is roughly square in shape. Its perimeter is about 6 kilometers. If the population density of the village is 1,200 people per square kilometer, find the approximate population of the village. Find the approximate population of the village. This is a very special question, so I want you to listen very attentively to what I'm going to be explaining. A village is roughly square in shape. Kureva kuti if we are to imagine the shape of this village, it's like this, it's a square. And we have to know what is square chi. So a square is a type of a rectangle where each side is equal to each side. Saka, a square is of equal 4 sides. But we have been told, Manch, in our next statement, that its perimeter is about 6 kilometers. Each the perimeter. Saka, at primary level, patikaintroduced to mensuration, we defined perimeter as the distance right round the shape. Saka, if I am to dramatize panapa, chinonzi perimeter, ngatiti tiri kutanga panapa, this is our starting point, and this is the distance traveled here, like this. This is perimeter, distance right round the shape. But knowing that the square is made up of 4 equal sides, what it means is, if the perimeter of square, you understand, is equal to 6 kilometers, it means that one side of the square should then be equal to 6 over 4 kilometers, which is 2 into 6, 3 into 4, 2, 3 over 2 kilometers. What just happened? This is a square. By virtue of it being a square, zvinoreva kuti kubva panapa kunosvika apapa it's of the equal length with kubva pano kusvika apa, then kubva apa kusvika apa, kubva apa kusvika apa. Masides yakafanana, saka malengths anofambwa as we travel around the square, as we formulate the distance right round the square, which is the perimeter. The distance yatinofamba on one side yakafanana neyatinofamba on any other side. So because of that, kana tichida kutsvaga the length of a particular side, we just say 6, which is the total perimeter of the square, divided by 4, which is the number of sides. In so doing, we get 3/2 kilometers. I hope that is understood. If not, please utilize the comments. Ndobva tazoudzwa isusu kuti if the population density of the village is equal to 1,200 people over square kilometers, find the approximate population of the village. So I'm going to do two methods. Chekutanga, I want to teach you to extract a formula from a given rate. It's going to be really beautiful. It's going to be really beautiful. Onai. Taudzwa isusu kuti the population density. Saka tinoziva kuti chii chinombonzi chi population density. Saka zvanzi the population density is equal to 1,200 people over, kana kuti 1,200 people per square kilometer. Saka panapa we should know kuti kana the formula for the population density is going to be equal to number of people, like this. Saka ngatingoti the number of people n over the area of village, which is a iyo population density yacho ngatiti p nekad ka subscript, like this. Saka formula yedu tikada kuinyora futi tiri kungoti isusu population density pd is equal to n over a. Zvabvepi? Taudzwa panapa kuti this is the population density. Saka kuti p zvinongoreva kuti divide by. Ndosaka tichiti speed is equal to distance over time. Then kana takukota maspeeds tinoti 10 kilometers per hour. Saka it's 10 kilometers divided by an hour. Saka kuti p, kana chiti p zvinongoreva kuti divide by. Saka kana iri population density iri 1,200 people per square kilometer, zvongoreva kuti population density in number of people 1,200 over the area of the village, which is this 1 square kilometer. Then manje kana tadaiso tagona kuextracta a formula from a rate, zvakunzi find the approximate population of the village. So how do we find the approximate population of the village? From our basic geography, kana our basic knowledge of knowledge, we know that a population is talking about the number of people in a given area, a given place. Saka patanyora panapa tichiti number of people, we can equally say chi population. Saka question yedu iri kufunzei. Question yedu iri kuti we have to make n, which is representing the number of people vis-a-vis population, the subject of formula. We do that how? By cross multiplication. Kureva kuti the population density is multiplying a, the area is going to be equal to the population n, number of people. Maboda. Okay. Saka this is the formula we are now working with. So this is the formula we are now working with. N is equal to PD times A. Toyapano toti consider A. We need to know the area. Area ye square is equal to side times side. Saka side times side. This is equal to. Remember kuti zvatatanga kuita panapa tatora square yedu tikaziva kuti perimeter ichi is 6 kilometers. Ndobva tatsvaga the length of a single side by saying 6/4, which is 3/2. kureva kuti panapa inge iri 3/2 kilometers, apa pafuti richi 3/2 kilometers, kureva kuti area yacho manje we just say 3/2 multiplying 3/2 side by side. Saka panapa we are going to get an answer of 3 times 3 being 9 over and 2 times 2 iri 4. Satogona ngoisiya yakadai so. And remember this is square kilometers because ma lengths edu they are in kilometers. Tadaro manje tinenge takudzokera kuformula yedu n is equal to pd multiplying a, takusubstituta pd taudzwa kuti 1200. Remember panapa panzi 1200 people per square kilometer andiri. Satongonyora number tosiya my units, but I'm going to show you my units anotokanzelana ipapa, but I don't encourage you kuita my units. You don't have to confuse yourself. So tinongonyora the number, making sure kuti my units edu akufanana. Like our area is in square kilometers, our population density is 1200 per square kilometer. Understood? Saka panapa this is multiplying an area of 9/4. Saka panapa is just 4 into 4 ndi 1, 4 into 12 ndi 3, kureva into 1200 ndi 300. Sa n is equal to 300 times 9, 9, 18, 27, so it's 2700. So this is the estimated number of people in this village. Okay, ndakuvimbisai kuti ndoda kudemonstrate something. Saka panapa n is equal to pd multiplying a, so n is equal to, ngatinyore iri 1200 people andiri, saka 1200 people per square kilometers like this, ichimultiply achi 9/4 kilometers squared like this. Saka n panapa inge iri equal to 1200 people. Remember tataura chiti per zvinoreva kuti dividing by. Saka 1200 people per square kilometer zvongoreva kuti 1200 people over 1 square kilometer like this. So this is multiplying 9/4 square kilometers. Saka ma square kilometers achekana. Izvi zvipanopinda umu n changova equal to 2700 people. Zvapera. So this is the method, and that method number 1. In this method, what did we do? We extracted a formula from a rate. Alright, ndikufila kuti kana paine munhu atorasika apa pakaipa. Saka rega ndidzokorodze kungoexplaina in passing. We know the perimeter of the square, 6 kilometers. We find a particular side, one side of the square. Tinongo divide perimeter over the number of sides. Reasoning yacho taitsanangura panapa. Perimeter is the distance right round the shape. Yet kana iri square, we are having equal lengths per side. Saka tika divide the number of sides into the perimeter, tichawana the length of a particular side. Kureva kuti kuri kuti ta draw a square yedu zvakare, so tati isusu pana pa 3/2, pana pa 3/2, pana pa 3/2, pana pa 3/2. Tikada tsvaka perimeter toziva kuti it's 3/2 plus 3/2 plus 3/2 plus 3/2. Tinoziva kuti kana tine the same denominator across, we just add the numerators. Saka 3 plus 3, that is 6, plus 3 ndi 9, plus 3 ndi 12. So perimeter is equal to 12/2, of which 2 into 2 ndi 1, into 12 ndi 6. Saka yadzokera kupi uko. You see what I mean? Saka by so doing taiprove. Then tadaro we extracted the formula of the population density, and kuextracta kwangobva pa this understanding kuti kana chiti per tinongoti divide by. Saka 1200 people per square kilometer zvirongoreva kuti the number of people over the area of the village. Then tadaro ndobva tazoinyora in symbols, tikazwa arrive at this which is just a way of rewriting panapa, because we discovered the number of the people, which is also the population. Then ndokuzoshandisa nhau yemasides ishi kutsvaga area side by side. Tawana area ndokuzongosubstituta panapa nepanapa ndokuzowana our final answer. If this method is really making your head spin, you do not have to worry. Why shouldn't you? Because there's another method, and that other method is called what? Proportion. You must be happy because proportion is our go-to in most cases. Let us do our method number 2, proportion. Tione kuti inotipa here the answer of 2,700 people. A village is roughly a square in shape. Its perimeter is 6 kilometers. If the population of the village is 1,200, if the population density of the village is 1,200 people per square kilometer, find the approximate population of the people. Saka, if we take, listen to me, people, listen to me. I'm your teacher now. Listen to me. 1,200 people per square kilometer. Zvinorevei? Zvinoreva kuti pa 1 square kilometer pa 1 square kilometer panenge paine vanhu 1,200 people. Ndozvazvoreva. Kuri kuti muvillage umu handiti tamaka inonzi a square kilometer. Kana chiti square kilometer tinongoti 1 kilometer times 1 kilometer. Saka tinoti 1 kilometer tichienda toti 1 kilometer takona area ikakaka ndo 1 square kilometer. Tobva taisa vanhu 1,200 tomaka kamwe toisa 1,200 tomaka kamwe kusvikira takavha the whole area of the village, kuti pese pane square kilometer tokuisa vanhu 1,200 pamwe 1,200 pamwe 1,200 kusvikira takavha area yese. Tikazoverenga zvimapechi izvi tinenge tine vanhu vangani. Understand? Saka knowing this makes it very needful kuti tizive kuti ko iyo village yacho area yacho ichii. Saka we have to know the area of village. We have to know the area of the village. Tinoiwana say, we go back to my former explanation, but having the village which is roughly a square, we found that each side is 3/2, and we found that the area is equal to 9/4 square kilometers, like this. Anditi saka kana takudzokera kuproportion yedu tinenge takuti kana 1 square kilometer ine vanhu 1,200, ko kana tikatsvaga yechi 9.4 square kilometers ine vanhu vangani, ine x people. Aya ndo ma-statements of proportion aya atobuda. 1 square kilometer is accommodating 1,200 people. What about 9/4 square kilometers, which is the area of the village? It is accommodating how many people? Understood? Saka kana tadai so takuchidinginda manje. Takuchidinginda takungoti 1/9/4 is equal to 1,200 over x. Kwakudinginda kwako. Panapa zvongoreva kuti 4/9 is equal to 1,200 over x. Saka taitei pamusoro tangonyora ma-statements of proportion edu tamaconverter into a fractional equation. Kureva kuti panapa is just 1/9/4 is equal to 1,200 over x. You understand? Saka tikazodivida izvi, tikadivida zvino izvi manje kunoko 1 divided by 9/4 inova 1 times topidigura kunoku 4/9, which is equal to 4/9. that is why ndazongoti 4/9 panapa. Saka manje kuti ndichibuda nayo manje haichanetsi. Tikaita cross multiplication, x inenge iri equal to 1200 times 9/4. Zvabvepi? Zvabva pakuti x uno auya uku, asi pauya uku 4 abva adzikawo kuzasi, saka 4 ari kuno uku, x ari apa, then 9 akaenda chinomultiply kuno uku, saka icross multiplication. Kana musingainzwisise, practice method yekubalansa maequations chingoitai masovero amaita mafractions all the time. There are no marks or credit for bravery. Saka tiri pano manje, what is going to be x? What we are going to do is tichangoti 4 into 4 ndi 1, 4 into 12 ndi 3, korova kuti x is equal to 300 times 9, which is what? X is equal to 2700 people. The people. Saka yabuda neproportion, inobuda neproportion, inobuda nekutsvaga formula. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. Yapera. But andiziva hangu munosarudza method inokushandirai. Ndanyanyi kunakirwa nemethod number 1 asi ndinokurudzira kuti muzvibate nemethod number 2 iri more user friendly. Saka chikamu chatakuenda ndechekukupa exercise like always. Want to give you an exercise, then after which we have concluded today's lesson. As for our exercise, tichaita exercise 23C iri kuwanikwa page 215, where exactly it's NGM book 3, it's chapter 23. So NGM book 3 chapter 23 exercise 23C 137 11 20 ndoma questions androda kuti muite. If you want extra lessons, exam coaching, tutoring sessions, online 1-by-1 lessons, physical lessons, you just need help in mathematics, be it you are Shona speaking or you are English speaking, you can get to us on 2 numbers. They are going to be available in the description of the video. They are also going to be available as the first comment of this video. But as is known, kudza mwana upedzisira. Saka these are the numbers. They are both available on WhatsApp. But if you need to call, you have to use this South African number, which is coded +27. Thank you for your patience and endurance, and take care.